Welcome to another episode of Media Monsters podcast.
The robots are coming. They're coming for all of us.
They're already here. They've been here.
It seems like somebody just flipped the switch. It's like somebody woke up one day and say, "Well, it's time to turn on the robots. Let's go to the wall and turn it on."
Right. And it seems like we're all opening our doors to them and we're all letting them in. They're coming into our devices and into our homes and into our businesses.
It's amazing. Jeremy, did you ever think for a minute when you were like 13 years old that we would be living and this is what would be possible? I know I used to think about flying cars, right?
Right. I watched the Jetsons. I think I saw a meme about that the Jetsons actually called it, and it showed a Zoom call and AI robots happening, the whole thing. It's already here.
It's amazing. It's amazing. It can be, I think, depending on what side of the fence you're on, it can be terrifying. And it can also be a huge relief too.
Right. Especially for those of you that are busy entrepreneurs and business owners, like what an opportunity to have some tools in your toolbox that might be a little bit less investment from your business to get things going.
Yeah. We're going to talk about a couple of things today on this episode. And the biggest part is kind of like that stagnation that happens when we think we have to have everything perfect. Because why? We're afraid of being judged, and we're afraid that we only get one chance to make a first impression, which is true to some extent. But at the same time, though, there are different thoughts on this in terms of, are you going to procrastinate and wait and build up the anticipation? People with their attention spans these days are going to get bored waiting for you. They're not going to stick around for the 6-month buildup or the release for something. And by the time you get ready to release, it's already been what you're thinking of doing has already been replicated, refined, and made even better by the time you get ready to release it. So we're going to talk about procrastination, how it cripples a lot of people. And then we're also going to provide some solutions and line out some resources that you can use to deploy today in your life and in your business to make it a lot easier. What do you struggle with? Like, what are the things you absolutely hate doing?
I think it's just the little task things that we know that we're supposed to do every day that they get pushed from task list on Tuesday to task lists on Wednesday. And then why it shows up on Friday, I have no idea. We all know that if we just do it in the moment and just get it done, that we not only feel better, right? Because we get that shot of dopamine that we did something, we get excited, those endorphins. And it doesn't matter how big or small that task is, but moving through that procrastination it's essential. It's actually going to help you by defeating it. And I think you hit the point perfectly. It's like we have this fear, and procrastination is fear just presenting itself and us not wanting to do something because we want it to be perfect. There's no perfect. It doesn't exist. Just there's taking that action step and moving it forward. I like that you said that if you're going to wait that long, it's already over.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing. This is the law of the universe too. If you've thought about something brilliant, somewhere halfway around the world, somebody else has thought about it. And it's probably been replicated between there, here, and in between. So when you have a moment, that's a spark from the universe or from the creator saying, hey, here's an idea, act on it. And the only way to bring it to the rest of the masses is going to be if you have people around the globe doing the same thing. And it's the reason why they have the same thoughts at the same time, right? Anything that you can imagine and create will appear just by a single thought. And it's amazing today because, what things do we get crippled by? We get crippled by social media, right? It's a drain. We're scrolling, we're flipping, we're looking for things, we're commenting, we're liking, we're sharing posts. And then we look up and go, oh, wait, I didn't do anything for my social media. I didn't do anything for my personal brand. I didn't do anything for my business pages or for the companies that I'm trying to promote or the products and services that I offer. So in this episode, we're going to kind of outline a few tools and resources that have been created by AI that are making your life a lot easier.
Designer IO is a really great one that we've found recently that's really great for creating simple, fast ebooks. Mm-hmm. And it's so simple that they're allowing you to import a text document, so a Word document or a PDF or something of that nature, and some simple graphics and a little bit of intelligence of what you might want a theme to look and feel like, and then it will produce the book for you. And
Yeah.
then, like most tools, or like specifically this AI tool, you want to go in and tweak it a little bit so that you make sure that it's tight and right, and make sure also that you put your own voice into it, and make sure that you're filling in the gaps. It's not a perfect system. I already told you there's not perfect. Robots were still designed by humans, and so there's still a human element in there at some point.
So how do you spell that? Because I know a lot of the spellings for a lot of these apps, you can't spell them with regular words.
That is very true. DESIGNRR.io. So instead of the ER at the end, it's a double R. And we'll make sure that we also include that in the show notes as a link so you can have direct access to it.
I imagine Designerly was probably already taken. So they're like, well, we can't be cutesy this year.
Exactly.
They're putting the RAR into their platform. Another favorite of mine, this is one that we use, and it's not necessarily AI, but I know it pulls from a lot of different sites. You know, when we talk about artificial intelligence, we're talking about being able to build platforms where you can pull in all types of resources. One that I've been using for a few years is called Storyblocks, storyblocks.com. Jeremy and I use this, and I love it because it features high quality still images. It features video footage, like short form video footage. And then it also has music imaging, not just music imaging, but music beds. And we're talking, it doesn't matter what genre. If you like country, hip hop, trap music, if you like rock and roll, whatever your genre favorite is, classical music. If you like cinematic themes, they'll do the big voice movie guy theme for it's like in a world and like the orchestral sounds. And I love it because it's real easy. It's on a subscription plan, so you don't have to go to the top tier, but it's fantastic because it kind of kills three birds with one stone. The video feature is wonderful. You need stock footage of somebody running. You can get men or women. You just basically go into the search engine and go, man running on a sunny day, woman jogging, man climbing at a mud race. You'll get all types of footage, whatever you can think and imagine in your mind. Just go there. Let's say you're looking for horses running across the field. You could go in, type that in, and you'll get a video that shows you horses running across the field. It might be an 8-second clip, but you can take it, pull it into your library, and incorporate that into your video. The final thing is the still images. The still images are fantastic. They're high quality. Let's say you're putting something together showing people working around a desk or a modern day workplace, or maybe you're looking for a construction worker outside on a building, or somebody overlooking a city from a steel frame building. You'll be able to find that in there. If you're looking for babies or kittens or dogs or anything like that, go into storyblocks.com, type it in, and those images that you're thinking of that you're wanting for your website or for your posting will show up. And it's very easy. They give you different formats. On the music, they give you MP3 or WAV format to download into. You can easily pull that into your editing software to create whatever it is that you want to create. So definitely on my recommendation list is storyblocks.com.
And I think one thing to add on storyblocks.com is all of those images, videos, and music beds, they're all royalty free. So because you're paying for that license for storyblocks.com, you're using those royalty free, which is really important, especially if you're using them in ad campaigns or social media. You'll avoid those copyright issues. I have one more solution for you. I think this is voice related, which I think hits home for us. And this one's otter.io. So how many different videos do you do, or meetings or something of that nature? What if you could take those meetings and just have them transcribed and be able to send them out there to your team? Another one that we're seeing a lot of people use is voice memoing an entire book idea and then have it transcribe that into a text document. And then you can send that to your book editor or have your team edit it. So if you can't be sitting in front of a computer all day, or you're driving around a lot or doing those kinds of things, you can voice memo literally your entire book and then feed it into otter.io and it will transcribe it for you. And then you can just go back and pick through it, because that actually is your voice, but gives you an AI tool to kind of make that translation happen in very short time.
I love that, man. That's like whatever's going to make it easier for you to get the work done the fastest. And that's the thing. I think for procrastination, as we were talking earlier, people get caught up in doing it just right and just perfect. And it's almost like feeling like we need to put in the time, the length of time to create the value around the work. And that's really not the world that we're living in these days. The faster you can get things done, the quicker you can get things done, the more valuable you become to the marketplace. And it doesn't matter if you offer a product or a service. Remember, a lot of things, it's timing. And some of these, so far we've talked about designer.io, otter.io, storyblocks.com, and we've got another one that you can use, which would be fantastic. And this kind of ties into, being able to synthesize voices. But let's say you don't like to be on camera. Let's say you don't really like your voice. You don't like the sound of your voice. They have a site called synthesia.io. That's Synthesia, SYTHESIA.io. You can make landing page videos with AI characters. So it covers two things, your voice and your image, which is fantastic, because I know a lot of people are like, I don't want my face to be shown. Or maybe you work in a different industry. Maybe what you're trying to promote, your side hustle, you have to work undercover. That happened a lot when I was in the mortgage industry. A lot of people, the compliance departments would come, and this probably happens for a lot of the people, the financial planners that get approached by their compliance departments and say, hey, listen, you can't have a side hustle while you work here. Well, who are you to tell me that I can't feed my family the way I want to? The rules have changed. The game is different now. So make sure you go through and start implementing as quickly as possible. Again, like today, here's your homework. And we don't like to give homework, but we're going to give you homework, because the only way that you're going to get better at what you're doing in the life that you're living is to go and do the research and implement immediately. It'll stick with you a lot faster. So we'll recap: designer.io, DESIGNRR.io, otter.io, OTTER.io, storyblocks.com. That's storyblocks.com. And then synthesia.io, SYTHESIA.io. So that's what we got.
It's another packed episode.
That's it. Nothing but content, value, and homework, because everybody loves homework, right?
Right, exactly. And if you like what you heard here today, check us out in our Media Monsters Facebook group, where we put a lot of this content and more, because we're pulling from contributors from all over the world, adding into this group. So they also have some of those same ideas that we might have.
That's right. We'll help you put the pieces together. And if you'd like to know more about what we do, just go to monumentalvoicemedia.com. So we'll see you next time. Don't forget, keep being a media monster.